Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Truth, lies, shenanigans. 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 It's the TLS show, coming to you live from the TLS show. It's the TLS show, coming to you live from the TLS show.
Hey, welcome to Truth, Lies, Shenanigans, a podcast, social commentary, hot topics, and amazing guests with a ton of fun and shenanigans along the way. This week, we have actor Javon Anderson back with us. You'll remember him joining us last season following his breakout performance as Lonnie in the film No Sudden Move, starring Don Cheadle and Benicio del Toro. He's going to give us an update on what he's up to now. Then we're talking about Jane Goodall in Canada and Emmett Till still not getting justice. And Gianni gives us our WTF of the week. Before we get into the show, let me introduce you to my amazing co-host. First up today, streaming from Atlanta, Georgia, it's our college student, actress, model, entrepreneur, and birthday girl, Miss Gianni Storm. Happy birthday, Gianni.
Thank you. That was very sweet. Thank
Birthday.
you so much. For my birthday, I did get to go to, it's kind of childish, but I went to Six Flags Atlanta.
Nice.
And
How's
I
that
just-
childish? That's shoot. I'd go to Six Flags.
Yes, I
An
had to
adrenaline
bring
rush isn't
Six
childish.
Flags. And
Yeah.
we also saw fireworks that night as well, on my birthday. So it was a very,
Nice.
Aw.
I don't know, like it was mellow, but it was fun.
Okay.
It was it was different for me.
What day was your birthday officially?
July 7th.
July 7th. Yeah. So right after 4th
So you're
of
a
July.
Cancer.
I'm a Cancer.
Cancer
yeah.
season.
I don't cry baby. I'm not a crybaby.
Wait, cancers are crybabies?
They
Is it
say
season?
that about cancer. Yeah.
Okay, well,
We're just
no
sensitive.
comment. I'm
sensitive.
not going to comment because I know a cancer. Life is a
Uh-oh.
cancer, so no comments.
Uh-oh.
All right. All right. And then we have our gamer, tech guru, and rock star with a rock band Fallen Machine coming to you from Sudbury, Ontario, Mr. Robbie Rock.
What's up, everyone? Happy Sunday Fun Day. Happy belated birthday,
Hey, Rob.
Johnny. Enjoyed a wonderful week of vacation at home this past week. Been loving the summer weather, loving the longer days. But there's a downside to the warmer weather. It's been getting warmer further north, and with that comes bigger spiders. So I came across a
Yes.
larger wolf spider that was about 3
Mm.
centimeters in diameter, so just over an inch. And I think
No.
it was a northern black widow. So I'm happy to report they're both dead, and I'm quite alive, but I'm a little bit more anxious when it comes to putting on my shoes and shit.
I tell you, the
We're
things,
spiders.
the things that are interesting in Canada.
Right.
I know.
Gianni's
I know.
over here having fireworks, and Robbie's got spiders. But those are big, man.
Yeah.
I got fear.
Rob doesn't like spiders, remember?
I know. Remember, I know.
I don't either. I would flee the country.
We're
I wouldn't be
spiders.
able to do it.
I don't
Yeah,
want to go
no.
much further north. It gets real cold then.
Yeah.
We got Ernest Cooper online, says, sips margarita from the rooftop. Hello from the ATL. Go, Shawty, it's your birthday.
Oh,
Yes.
All right. And we have our college student, software developer, comedian, musician, coming to you from, this time, the windy city of Chicago, Miss Ellen Dahl.
Hello. Happy Sunday from the South Loop of Chicago. It's a freaking beautiful day. So as soon as I get off this podcast, I'm probably gonna go frolic around the lake. My favorite thing about Chicago is they have concrete beaches, so people will just go. As I heard in a TikTok recently, raw dog the concrete once it goes over like
What?
60 degrees. They'll just like people will just lay flat out on the concrete because like it's close
Yes.
to the water and they're concrete beaches, so people will just be like passed out like on the sidewalk because that's
Oh my god.
you know
I could see that.
you take what beaches you can. So I've seen lots of crispy burnt up white tourists. That's always fun. Lots of burns. So yeah, it's a great summer in Chicago.
Wow, Chicago's.
Thanks.
At least,
We love
it sounds like fun though. I mean, I've never been a fan of Chicago,
yeah.
but it sounds like fun.
I
Sounds like
love
you're having
Chicago.
fun. You love it.
Yeah, I'd never been here before until I moved here. So I only know what it's like to live here. I don't know what it's like to be a tourist. But yeah, I love it. I would live here after school for
Oh
sure.
wow. Yeah, I know
Nice.
our guest today, Javon Anderson. He visits Chicago a lot, and I think he was saying he
Yeah.
loves it as well. All right, and I am of course Neo Nix, and I had a great little vacation for the 4th, and it was my birthday's wife. My birthday's wife. My wife's
Wow.
birthday as well. But her birthday was the 2nd, but Gianni's was so we got a Cancer too.
Nice.
Yeah. We had a family vacation in Ocean City with my in-laws, my nieces, and my nephews. We rented this Airbnb, and man, I'm telling you, this house had literally everything. It was like half a
Yeah,
block from the
nice.
beach. It had a dock in the backyard for kayaking on the bay. We did some crabbing. It was shuffleboard.
Nice.
There was even a putting green, foosball, hot tub. Matter of
Damn.
fact, they even had
Nice.
an arcade room with like NBA Jam, Mortal Kombat, the old school style, with
That's
the joysticks and
Whoa.
everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
he's on
crazy.
fire.
wow.
yeah, it was a nice house. I mean, it was well worth it. So yeah, but
Very fun.
made Ocean City interesting because I really don't like Ocean City. So
Yeah,
I've been
Ocean
once.
City's trash,
yeah, I'm not a fan of
It's
Ocean City,
weird.
but
Yeah, it's different.
and the water's
but the house seems like it made up for it. For sure.
exactly. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I totally forgot how good NBA Jam, how good of a game NBA Jam was,
Right?
by the way.
Yeah, the classic.
Hell yeah.
It's when you score
Yep.
that 3rd basket in a row. He's
Exactly.
on fire.
He's on
Yes.
fire. All right, and the wife had a good time, so that's what's most important.
Yep.
That's awesome.
All right, so let's get into our show. Time for our guest. We'll just bring him right on in. Today's spotlight is on Javon Anderson. Hey, Javon, welcome to the show. All right.
Glad to be back.
All right, so Javon joined our show in season 2, episode 43, to talk about his performance as Lonnie. Let me see if I have a picture of Lonnie. Yeah, you as Lonnie. Yep, Lonnie, and he was in the thriller No Sudden Move, starring Don Cheadle. So, yep, let's welcome him back to the show, everybody. Welcome Javon Anderson back to the show.
Pleasure to be back.
Yeah,
I want to say I'm glad you enjoyed your weekend with the wife. You know, that's always
you.
amazing.
thank you.
Gianni, happy belated birthday. You know, turn up. Rob, I'm happy to hear you want to go with the spiders now. That's fun. Get you some sunscreen.
So Javon, what's been going on with you since the last time we saw you? I know it's I know you had just gotten married, I think, the last time we spoke to you. How's married
Yeah.
life treating you?
It's good, man. It's good. It's good. I'm actually creeping up on 1 year. Yep, August
Wow.
22nd, it'll be 1 year.
Wow.
So
Congratulations.
time flies. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah,
Awesome.
good. It's been good. Been busy, staying busy, man. I'm out here on the West Coast now, so that's a good thing. And me and the wife are just rocking out.
yeah, so you just
Nice.
moved to Vegas, right?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Moved to Vegas. Yeah, Vegas was a good spot for me, man, because LA is so close for me to be able to travel back and
Mhm.
forth to
Mm-hmm.
a 3-hour trip. So,
Yeah, that's a 3-hour drive though, right?
oh yeah, but that's not too bad, man, because like Ellen in Chicago, when I was back in Michigan, I would do a little 3 to 4 hour drive, sometimes 3 to 4 times a week. So for me, that's
Ooh.
part of my grind. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I actually was
Wow.
back there a few months ago working on a project, and I was there about 4 times out the week.
Oh, what project?
Man,
Chicago
Okay.
PD. Yep, I booked the
Oh,
role on
Oh
episode
yeah.
15. Go on.
nice.
so you could have
Thank
been
you.
hanging out with Ellen Doll. See.
I know. I didn't
That's
know.
right. I got room for you.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, next time I got you.
So
Yeah,
I
sounds
assume
good.
the vibe is pretty different from Detroit, right?
It is, and one of the main things I would say is I'm a lot more outdoorsy. Me and my wife we do a lot
Mm.
more outdoor walks, outdoor hikes. Man, it's
Oh wow.
a good atmosphere for just kind of being outside. Even though they say the heat is extreme out in Vegas, but if you know how to manage it and deal, and when to come out, when to stay in the house, I mean it's pretty nice. So definitely a good vibe here for us.
we got
I'm glad,
Ernest
I'm
Cooper on.
glad you mentioned the hiking because you posted a video about a week and a half ago on Twitter, just enjoying this hike with your beautiful wife, and you're climbing these huge steps. And I'm trolling you. I was like, what are you climbing? A pyramid? Well, what the hell were you actually climbing?
I want to
I
say
wish.
probably man, we've been discovering new trails and hikes out here like literally weekly. We try something new, and
Wow.
I want to say we might have been
That's
out near
awesome.
Boulder City, man, and like literally out in that mountain there was a I want to say it's a dam that we were like near. Now, mind you, it's
Okay.
Vegas, so there's no water right now. It's kind of dry right there. So those were the steps in that dam area that I was actually kind of walking through. But we were
Oh
actually
wow.
going a mountainside, and I want to say we probably were in Boulder City or something like that. But man, we've been discovering new hikes and trails like every week out here.
Wow.
Lucky.
Amazing.
Very
Wow.
cool.
So online we have Ernest Cooper was like he says congrats on the marriage.
Oh,
Uh,
thanks, Ernest. Thanks.
then he also did say you don't Neo, you don't like Ocean City, you don't like Chicago. What do you like?
Yeah.
Very
I,
critical.
I
Good
mean,
question.
Ernest has been on since he started, so I decided to creep him a little bit, and I just want to give a shout out and just say congratulations because he became recently engaged. So congrats, Ernest.
Oh,
con-
Oh, nice.
cool.
Congrats.
yeah,
Congrats.
Shout out to you.
congrats on that. But yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So I know you got some. So you did Chicago PD. What other projects do you have going on?
Man, I've been kind of busy. I've actually had a film called The Bad Girls 2 that was released on Amazon Prime and Tubi right now.
You said
Again, Chicago,
The Bad Girls too.
Bag,
the
Bag,
bag.
bag
Yep,
girls.
yep. That's
BAG.
with
Washington, Michigan.
Go and a few other stars and stuff like that. That's on Amazon and Tubi. I'm actually the announcer for the Ford in the Southeast Michigan region, so I've got that voiceover going on radio and TV currently right now.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
I've got a Netflix show that I did. I want to say I filmed it back in like November-ish, and it should be airing this summer on Unsolved Mysteries. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I love that
Oh
show.
yeah,
My wife loves
Nice.
that stuff.
oh,
She'll
thank
see
you,
you.
thank you. Yep.
So
So yeah.
wait, so you're talking about the old school show Unsolved Mysteries? What is it? It's a remake.
Yep, they've revamped it on Netflix now, and their season one came out. I want to say maybe last year or a year before, and they had a little break due to COVID. But season two will be airing, and I should be in the first episode if I'm not mistaken.
First, I don't know. Are you
Nice.
able to say what you
Nice.
were? No,
I
you
can't.
can't disclose. Okay, no, I can. I won't push you. I was just curious. I
Yeah.
know you. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just gonna say. Other than that, I've got a voiceover project that I'm in the works of closing some type of deals with. I can't really disclose that yet, but this would be a possible game or something like that. And
Mm.
No
I just
way.
Ooh.
so
Wow,
been
Javon.
busy.
I have
Been trying to
so
stay
much
busy.
respect for voice actors, so that's awesome that
Oh,
you're doing that.
Oh yeah.
thanks, bro. And I love it, man. I love it. It's a challenge in itself. It's equally is the same as acting on camera. I mean, the performance and the energy that you give, it's lined up exactly the same.
I have a feeling it'd be harder almost because I mean
Yeah.
you don't because you have no idea what the animation is going to be like, and you're trying to picture it in your mind, and like, or do
No,
you actually have the animation? Do you actually get to see the animation?
Right.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Like, well, I haven't did the animation just yet on that, but I've done like ADR for like Chicago PD, and you're right. ADR voiceover is somewhat a little bit harder because you got to get that exact moment that you were in on camera.
Ah,
You know, you've got to match it, the
Yeah.
same energy, same delivery, speed, pace, and all that's got to line up. So it is a little bit more of a challenge, which actually makes it more fun for me. When you're in that studio. It's kind of like you're rapping almost.
Yeah.
In your
Uh,
little
Mhm.
sound booth, yeah.
Oh
Gianni,
yeah.
Gianni, did you have a question?
I had a couple of questions. When you were talking about the different acting jobs you've had, it made me think, do most actors kind of find their way in that way where they're trying different things, or is that something that you personally enjoy? Do you enjoy doing voiceover or um, commercials, radio, television series? Do you enjoy the variety?
Yeah, I for the most part I really do enjoy the variety of it. It really it's a challenging factor for an actor like to take on different realms, like you said, whether it's theater, film, commercial, voiceover. And a funny story about voiceovers, I honestly didn't even get into voiceovers until a few years ago, thanks to my wife, because I was kind of self-conscious about my own voice. And I mean, once I opened up that realm and started auditioning, I began to book. Like I've actually got a voiceover for
Wow.
Spotify. I've got a voiceover for
Nice.
Ford. I've got a couple of nice voiceovers that I've been able to do over the last few years. And I love it. I love it. I feel like it actually adds to your acting, and I think that all actors should be open and broad to doing those different things because you can take that tool set and bring it to film. You can take that film tool set and bring it to
Ah,
voiceover. You know, it's
So
like
I'm
a cross.
curious.
okay.
You said you were
I like
self-conscious. What were you self-conscious about? Just the way you sounded? Was it one of those things where like you listen to
Yeah,
yourself in the microphone and you like, I don't like the way I
you
sound?
don't like it.
man.
Yeah.
I honestly, God would tell you, yes, that is exactly how it was. I was like, you know what? Nah, that's not me. And she was like, you know what? Go for it. You got it. You do the acting. Take it the same way, practice it the same way, treat it the same way you do film. And then that's when I was like, you know what? Let me just do that. Let me switch my mindset and not think that
Yes.
this can hold me back because of something I'm in my head possibly thinking. And once I
Yeah.
wipe that out, man, it's been open season for me for voiceovers.
So when you do hear yourself back, does
Awesome.
it still bother you, or are you good with it? You like
Oh no, I've grown comfortable with it now,
okay?
man, and that's the thing that
Good.
it's with actually being on films and during auditions, it's growing more comfortable with the way I sound and the way I deliver myself on the camera or microphone.
Yeah, because I know listening to myself back on the show, it took me a while to kind of get used to my voice too. So I hear what you're saying on that.
Mm.
Oh no, man, yeah, for you guys, that's a craft right there. A lot of people can't get on a mic and be comfortable and be in that element, and that's a
Yeah,
skill set that you guys all have that
yeah.
a lot of people want.
It took a minute to hear myself back. Ellen, did you have something?
Yeah, I'm curious since you recently moved. So when you were in back in this part of the country, you were probably around fewer people who are trying to do the same thing as you. But now that you're out on the West Coast, you probably meet a lot of people who are trying to do something similar to you. So how has that changed your workflow or your social circle, being around people who are kind of oriented towards the same goals as you are?
Well, for one, it's actually a good welcoming feeling to be around other creatives to kind of more bounce ideas off of, talk to, network with. Like you learn a lot of things,
Hmm.
when you connect with different people. And the second part of, like you said, being out here in the West Coast, you want to. It does kind of make you take it up a notch because these people are out here
Hmm.
professionals, doing it for years, just as much as you have, and the talent pool is a little bit higher, so you have to take
Yep.
yourself a little bit more seriously when you get to this point of the West Coast and want to pursue acting over here. So it's definitely been a good growing transition as far as for like being more developing yourself and honing in on what you need to do and what you want to do to correct yourself to get to that next level.
Yeah, for sure.
Robbie,
Nice.
Yeah, it's honestly, I'm kind of curious about Bad Girls 2 because I know that
I
that
was
was
too.
shot
It's gonna
in
be my question.
Michigan. Well, it was shot in Michigan. So are these your peeps? Are these people that you know, or were you sought after? Did you audition? Tell me more about this.
Well, yeah, that project specifically, I connected with the director, and we kind of had a little conversation before because they were doing like a general casting call, and me and him had a little kind of back and forth prior to, and he sent some work that I had did beforehand, and he had a general idea of where he kind of wanted me to be in his film, so I came out and met with him earlier, the day of the general casting they had. I kind of met with him a little bit earlier, and we chopped it up, went over what he felt like he wanted me to kind of portray in that. And from there, man, yeah, it just went and built a good relationship. I got to work with Mano and be his kind of best friend and build some type of work relationship as well as creative side rapport with him. And also, we're working on a possible project that I can't give a lot of details about, but they kind of want me to play a lead possible in one of their projects. And yeah, it actually was a good relationship from that project. Yeah.
That's cool.
Wonderful.
I'm
Very exciting.
Oh,
I'm curious. I'm gonna ask a side question. So Gianni, what happened with Hazel Valentine? When we gonna see some Hazel Valentine?
I have no idea. I know that the producers went into a different direction
Okay.
with the show itself because so many people weren't taking it serious. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes with lower, well, let me not say lower level,
I was gonna
but
say,
people
wait a minute.
starting off in film and production, it's like sometimes they don't take it as serious. So I don't know what
Yeah.
happened to
Have
it,
you
but I
have you
promise
seen that, Javon? Have you experienced that?
Oh no, definitely, man. I've got projects that I that's been shot that I still don't know when or where the release actually may or may not happen. And like she said, it there's
Yeah.
so many things and factors that come into place that once you get done, it's kind of as an actor, it gets out of your control, and you just hope that that you make the
Mhm.
best cut scene and everything comes out great. But
yes.
it's definitely
Yeah.
a challenge sometimes, man, where it's distribution deals or they might want to change certain things or all type
Mhm.
of factors that push projects back and delay things for you.
Dang.
Yeah.
Man, that's gotta be stressful to be an actor. I mean, but you get paid for the job still. You just have to wait to see if it actually hits the
Screen.
theaters or hits the screen, right?
Depends on the gig,
Yeah,
man. Depends on the
oh
gig.
yeah,
Depends if you're helping
and
the
that's why you want
crews, if you want
to
to throw
stay
a
busy
project
and keep.
together.
Oh yeah,
So
no,
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
that's got to be a struggle as an actor, though. That's got to be like, because I mean, I don't know the grind of an actor, but I mean, that's got to be kind of challenging because you have these projects that you're expecting to come out. Like, what if No Sudden Move never came out, right?
Oh
Or
man.
didn't make it? I mean, you know, you may not you might be seeing the roles that you're seeing now, or the opportunities that
No,
you're seeing now.
Yeah.
that's 100%, man. It's so many factors that go into play, like you said. Especially even when it comes to the cutting room, man. I've had projects that I was in where you came, you shot it, you thought everything was great, then there might have been a technicality that has nothing to do with you, and that whole scene might have to
The
get
whole
scrapped
scene
out.
you get out. Oh man,
Yeah, and it's like you got paid for the project, which is good, but as an actor, when you want to
it's not really what
show
you
your
want.
creative
Mhm.
side, that's not what
Mhm.
you're going for. So
It's probably more valuable to get the thing out than it is to get paid. Like
yes,
the money's probably
oh,
like you
Yeah.
probably do it for free. Well, not you wouldn't do it for free, but you'd probably if you had a choice between doing it for free and getting your name out there, you'd probably choose to do that, right? Yeah,
oh no, 100%,
yeah,
100%. That's where the passion comes in.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course you get paid bigger when you when you get your name out
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah.
so you get the bigger
That part
bucks.
does.
Yeah. Javon, I have another question for you. Because as someone who's early on in my career as well, because I'm a software engineer, similar to acting, there can be a lot of nepotism. So people whose parents are already in the industry and they have all these connections and all this stuff set up for them, which is similar in software engineering. Like maybe some guys' parents worked for IBM and they have all these connections. And I think it's really easy to struggle with imposter syndrome in that way because you feel like you have to outwork these people so hard.
You said
So
imposter
how do
syndrome?
you? Yeah. So how do you kind of beat that out and not let it get in your head that other people may have these opportunities lined up for them, whereas you may have to work a little bit harder?
Well, yeah, I honestly do know what you mean, especially when, like for me, for instance, when I started off acting, I didn't grow up in the traditional realms of wanting to be an actor. I kind of came on a
Right?
little later on in my college career, and you do kind
Yep.
of in the beginning feel a little bit like you said, maybe behind the curve or like not
Hmm.
having so many opportunities or accessible opportunities as these people who have been doing it or may have family members in it. But the one thing that always keeps me home and key is knowing that everyone started from a specific one point, regardless of who they are, where they are
Yeah.
at in their position in life. And you are in that same position to be able to get to where they are, no matter if you have to work a little bit harder or, and even
Mhm.
like you said, you sometimes feel like you have to work a little bit more because with me starting out later on in my life, I didn't grow up with a lot of theater background. I had to kind of learn a lot
Right.
of that and
Yeah.
speed up that process because I wanted to get into the auditioning realm. And you can't really skip steps and audition without the practice part. So I feel like
Yep.
I
Yep.
did, a summer where I was in a library for 8 hours a day because I'm studying and studying and studying to kind of fast
Wow.
pace absorb that knowledge to catch up to these people who have been
Yep.
doing it 10, 20
Yeah.
years or parents have
Yep.
raised them in that realm. So it's definitely to be honest, it actually feels a little bit better to go and know that you're capable of doing that and reaching that
Yep.
status by just working just as hard or even harder and still having the same starting playing ground as those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I
Yeah. I
remember
totally feel that.
I remember the last time you were on, you said when you talked about absorbing, you were absorbing so much from the actors that you were with, like Benicio del Toro and
Don
Don
Cheadle
Cheadle.
mentoring him.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was great. Yeah,
Oh no, yeah, still to this day, man, I'm still absorbing and like you said, like that knowledge that I've learned from there, that was like a master class. Like even right now,
yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
watching Samuel L. Jackson's master class course that I
Nice.
purchased. Oh yeah, it's just all about absorbing that knowledge because even him, he has a great history background on how he started
Yeah.
off and what he had to
Yeah.
overcame to get where he's at, and
But
everybody starts from zero,
all right,
and
but let
you
me
just got
ask you. I gotta ask you this. You said Samuel
Yeah.
L. Jackson, but do you agree that Samuel L. Jackson basically plays Samuel L. Jackson in everything?
look. No, I can't, man.
Leave
when
him
you when you
alone.
listen to his class, and I like Sam, man. Sam is a very very talented man. Like when you really study
Yes.
him from the acting perspective, the
Okay.
man is phenomenal with what he's done. Like
So you're saying he's
improv.
pretty versatile. You're saying he's
Oh,
versatile.
oh yes, oh yeah. I mean, he's got a talent, man, that most people don't have and are trying to still grasp. And it's just being that
Right.
natural himself. Like you said, even though it looks like he's playing himself, he's not. This guy is
Yeah.
molding and maneuvering himself in so many ways, and
I mean,
it might.
he's had so many roles in his
So
Oh
does
career.
he
yeah,
make
Right.
the role? So does he make the role like his own, where he can
yes,
be a
Oh, that's
cop,
what
he
you're.
can be a
Good
killer,
point.
but he makes it his
Yeah.
stamp.
yeah, yep,
Oh,
Sam
yep.
so
And
Jack,
that's
I
one
want
Yep.
thing.
you to do this in this scene. I'm Sam Jack. I'm going to read this the way I read it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
the one thing every actor wants is their niche that kind of separates you from the pool, and he's done that. He's got his niche that
Yep.
makes him Samuel L. Jackson that we're all talking about right now. That puts
Yep.
him at
Yeah.
where he's at.
Household name.
yeah, Jacqueline
Oh,
Robinson said you have
Speaking
to
of,
catch some of his earlier work, especially on the stage. Oh,
Huh?
oh
yep.
yeah.
Okay.
But speaking of Samuel L. Jackson and voice acting, I just went back and played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and he was the voice actor for one of the main characters who was a cop.
Yeah,
And he was excellent, and I didn't even realize who it was until I went back through the credits. But I think people like Samuel L. Jackson, I think that people will say, oh, Samuel L. Jackson plays the same character everywhere. But people don't criticize like Al Pacino or Robert De Niro for playing the same
Sure
New
they
York
do.
Italian in every act, in every
Sure they
role.
do.
But I don't think it's necessarily bad to get
I've
typecast. They're
said it.
just good at doing that. You know what I mean? Like,
Fair enough.
yeah,
and I wouldn't even consider, like you said, it's not always typecast. It's they have their niche and
yeah,
where they perform the
yeah,
best at. Like that's their
yep,
strength area. So the Al
yep.
Pacinos, they're very strong in that area of acting. So like you said, and man, Sam is so versatile. This man has one of the biggest IMDb
Yeah. Yeah, if you look
credits.
at his
Yeah.
if
He's
you
a
look at his
workhorse.
filmography, it's long.
Yeah.
So
But
one of my
and
favorite
that's
stories
the
about
goal though, to be that working.
But one of my
Yep.
favorite stories about Sam was when he was presented the script for Snakes on a Plane, and they asked him like, did you read the script before you took the role? And he was like, "Are you kidding me? Motherfucking snakes on a motherfucking plane." I'm doing this. Cool. So what is the script title that would have to come your way where you wouldn't even read the script and just go based on the title say I'm doing this?
Yeah.
What is that
You know,
title, Javon?
what is that title? That's hard, man. That's a hard one. I will say this though. It's a director. It's certain directors that I have no question that I'm working with. Oh, there's no question.
Cool.
The script name doesn't even matter. I'm working with that guy because I know they're going to deliver this quality work that I want to put out. So the script name will be hard, but if there's certain directors that are just like, hey, I got a project, sign me
Who?
up. I
Oh, I
know
gotta
what you're.
ask who.
Actor.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
who?
forget Soderbergh again. If Steven called me up right now, Javon, I got a project. I know what he's done. I know what he's doing. The Martin Scorsese, there's no questions on some of those.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
How about Jordan Peele?
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, they're
Oh
they're
yeah.
very no. He is creative. He has
He
been
really is.
Oh no, yeah, he's being chimed as the Steven Spielberg of our time in certain aspects.
Oh yeah.
So
Wow.
Masterful.
oh yeah,
Unfortunately,
oh yeah.
Javon, we are out of time. But there's one last comment. SLJ is sort of like Denzel. You see the persona in each role, yet the character they play is believable for each role. That's from Karen Cat Thompson.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
That was a good.
So
Oh,
we are
yeah.
out of time, Javon, but I just want to give you a minute to say whatever the last words you want to say. Make sure you tell everybody where they can find you, the social media handles, etc. You don't mind?
Okay. Yeah, man. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you guys for having me back on. It was
Thank
such
you.
a pleasure, man. I mean, guys, anytime you guys invite me out, this is one of the shows that I'll always be back on. No questions
We
asked.
love it. We love it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. And same here, Rob. Same. And I can be found. Oh, I can be found on Twitter at Javon_Anderson, Facebook at Javon Anderson, Instagram at Javon_Anderson. And yeah, guys, tap in with me. I love to reach back out, talk to people. You got questions, got no problem answering them. And again, it was such a pleasure, guys. It was such a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, follow this guy. He's
Thank
an
you.
up and coming actor. He's gonna be everywhere soon. But definitely check him
Oh,
out. No Sudden Move and Bags. What is it? Bags Ladies?
Yeah, Bad Girls too.
Bags
Bad
Ladies.
Girls
No.
Heard about it.
episode 15.
too.
Bag Girls 2. BAG Bag Girls 2. Check it out. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you again, Javon, for joining us. We do appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you guys again. Have a great day.
Bag Ladies.
Where did
Oh my god.
Bad
Horrible.
Girls. Bad Girls.
Come on, bro.
The premise is that
Simple game.
the girls are taking the bags from the drug cartel. They're shaking things down.
All right.
Damn it.
Yeah, it was a good interview. All right, let's get to our main topic. Let's go.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
One of two main topics. Go ahead, Rob.
All right. So bear with me. So something really cool took place in my city this week. Dr. Jane Goodall and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau were in Sudbury, Ontario to plant the 10 millionth tree of Sudbury's regreening program. So if you wouldn't mind pulling up JT and Jane there, Neo.
JT.
But you do need
Justin Trudeau.
Trudeau. You got it. So to really grasp the significance of this, you need a brief history lesson. So Sudbury Basin was formed about 1.8 billion years ago by a meteor strike, and it was about 1,800 square kilometers. So that's about 700 square miles. Skip a bit to 1883, when Thomas Flanagan, a blacksmith on the Canadian Pacific Railway, noticed a patch of rust-colored rock in a recent blast area, just northwest of where Sudbury is situated today. Having heard of the iron-rich deposits, Samuel Ritchie, a capitalist from Akron, Ohio, arrived in 1886 and founded the Canadian Copper Company with several partners. So there really weren't any regulations back in the day, and for smelting iron, you would just have these huge open fires. They would roast the open ore on fires, and that was just the mainstay of the industry. This practice understandably decimated the vegetation and tree populations in our area and created acid rain. Sudbury gained the reputation of being one of the most unattractive urban centers in Canada. Not a reputation you want, right? You're the ugly kid. Boo. So a bit of shared history with NASA coming at you. From 1971 to 1972, Sudbury was known as a moonscape because it was the training site for crew members for the NASA Apollo 16 and 17 moon missions. Just because the landscape had been decimated by the mining industry and some of the crater strike formations were still there. So it was a perfect training area. But since 1978, the city took on a regreening program and has planted 10 million tree seedlings, making Sudbury a leading global example of how scientists, government, industry, and the community work together to restore landscapes. So I really want to gather your thoughts, your reactions, your comments about regreening efforts and what we can do.
Wow. Let's start with Ellen.
Yeah, I think that Americans really need to pay attention to this because there have been initiatives, specifically through private businesses, where like if you buy a pair of shoes, they'll plant a tree. But I think that along with a lot of things related to your environmental impact, it's hard to see how small efforts can really add up. But this is an example of how this works. Like this works. I think just that picture alone from early 80s to recently could really change the way that people feel about what we can do about the environment, because I think that a lot of people have subscribed to the idea that there's nothing we can do. We already messed it up too much. It's the laws, which I think that this is an amazing example and a visual example of that not being the case.
Gianni?
I definitely agree with you, Ellen. I think that you actually made me realize that seeing that before and after picture kind of does spark motivation, because it's like, oh, it can be done if we actually see it, physical evidence. But I also I read the article, Rob, that you sent us, and I like when Dr. Jane said why she does have hope, and she said the resilience of nature and the spirit that tackles what seems impossible and will not give up. I really appreciate her optimism. I think that, like Ellen said, we have a lot of initiatives here. I looked up Georgia's like regreening, and it's a lot of like programs and initiatives, but it's not anything as like more aggressive as this, where they're actually planting trees or having community like gardening classes. I don't know, I'm making stuff up, but they don't have anything like that. So I really appreciate it.
It's really good to see stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty drastic, the difference in 34 years. I mean, I mean, it goes from like just nothing. I mean, literally like black hills to all this greenery.
Yep.
And you said, I remember you saying, Rob, this was from mining. Is that what you said? The blackness was.
Yeah, as a result of mining. So, like I was saying, with the open pit burning and everything, or with just the open burning, it would generate a lot of soot. But then, as the mining industry developed and just evolved, one of the byproducts is sulfuric acid. So that contributed to acid rain, and it killed lakes, it killed forests, it destroyed paint jobs on cars. It was just, it's acid rain. But since then, now I know that the main mining company, what they do now is they actually harvest the SO2 as it's created in the process, and then they sell it for commercial applications. So rather than have it go out and harm our environment, they've found a commercial alternative for the reclamation of this product. And I mean, it was a PR nightmare, right? Hey, Sudbury is dying, it's dead, it's black rock because of these guys. Ooh, ouch. You don't want that. So the mining companies were very, it was paramount that they were involved in the regreening effort, and that sparked a lot of community effort, a lot of community conversation. And when you look at the before pictures, you have to remember I was born in 72. So those black rocks is what I saw when I grew up just 10 minutes out of the city proper. And anytime we would commute in, it was very marshy and foresty where I was. But when you drive
Yeah.
through to the city, then you were out on around mining property, and the rock was just
Mhm.
black and barren, just from the acid rain, from the soot, from all of this, 100 years of mining.
Yeah.
And as a young Boy Scout, then the regreening efforts were there. And so I was actively involved for several years. Every
Huh.
summer, you'd get hundreds, thousands of kids to go out and plant dozens of trees each. So it's pretty neat that there are some areas of the city I can look at and go, hey, I must have planted close to 300 trees there.
Wow.
And
Wow, that's
and my
awesome.
buddies.
That is pretty awesome.
But they're
Also,
not the
kids
only
love that shit.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm not the only Sudburian like that. I'm not the only one who has a story like that because we
Yep.
were all involved in it. It was a community initiative, and I think it was really well done. In over 50 years, the transformation is absolutely remarkable.
It's
Yeah.
I
beautiful.
think that, yeah,
So-
in the report. Sorry, go ahead, Neil.
I was gonna say there's a couple of comments online real quick. So Tracy Gower says Apollo astronauts trained in Sudbury in 1971 because of the lunar landscape, and she actually put
Yep.
she put a video I think on there or image on the in the Facebook feed, and then Jacqueline Robinson was actually leaning towards what I was gonna say is like at least Canada doesn't have a high court that is adverse to clean air and water. I mean, the
Yeah.
reason I'm asking is I was gonna what I was thinking was you know, these efforts, these regreening efforts, and you planted 300 trees while your neighbors are like tearing it all down in their country. And I mean, does that kind of hurt to know? I mean, your efforts are
Uh,
being like countered.
no, because at the end of the day, the past practices in my city in the industry were very similar. Just take what you
Mhm.
need from the environment, and whatever the consequences are, it's whatever the consequences are. We got money in our pocketbooks, and we're paying people a decent wage. Everyone's happy until until you can't go fishing on the weekend, until the air quality is being impacted,
Yeah.
until there's
Yep.
no forest, there's no critters because everything is just black rock. So no, it really is neat because it is from the community level all the way to the federal level that it has been endorsed and supported. And I think that it's a wonderful example of what any city can do if you just tackle the problem the right way. If you involve your community, if your community becomes engaged in what's going on. And I think that that's really, it's a valuable lesson for the rest of the world. It really
Definitely.
is. And Jane Goodall in the report said that when she first came to Sudbury 20 years ago to see the regreening effort, she planted a few trees and she even released a fish in a once polluted stream. So it's just the reclamation from unregulated mining practices of the past, and there's definitely a few landmines out there that we have to watch out for and hopefully get to them before something shitty happens. Infrastructure projects
Jeez,
that are
yeah.
abandoned by huge corporations, but yeah, it's at least it's improvement. It's better.
Yes.
Yeah. At
A
least
good
that's
news.
millennials hopefully will change the world. But you
And
guys
I'm
are not
happy.
you're Gen Zers, right?
I'm Gen
No,
Z. Gianni's on the cusp.
She's on the cusp.
Mm,
So she's both.
Yeah.
She's a
Yeah.
millennial Gen Z.
Yeah.
Take that vote.
Uh,
Throw your labels on her.
Jose says so much has changed. This is Jose, your wife. So much
Yes.
has changed landscape wise. So much fauna and flora, natural lakes we need to conserve and maintain. Saturday nights watching the slag run downhill. It's a slag.
Mhm.
Oh, the slag.
Slag is runoff. It's just the leftovers from it's the tailings from
Yeah.
the mining process. So they would, when we were kids, rail cars would come down by an area and then they would just tip the cars, and it was just like it was watching molten rock pour down the hill. It was
Ew.
quite a
Jeez.
sight.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All
Nice
right.
thought,
So
Taco.
is this truth, lies, or shenanigans?
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
Some truth, and one of the
Yeah.
rare instances where my city just rocked it.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Good stuff.
Good job, guys.
Good stuff,
We love
Robbie
it.
Rock. Congratulations
Yeah.
to Sudbury, Ontario.
You
So, Rob, in
single-handedly
your
saved
lifetime,
Canada.
You got to see in
They
your
did
life
not
and
save
the
Canada.
before and after of your city.
Yeah, and that's it. It's a community effort, and so many of us have volunteered their time and their efforts, and it's been sponsored from the corporate level, from the political level, from the community level. It's a success story.
Awesome.
We love it.
All right, let's get into our next topic.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right, I wanted to talk about Emmett Till. I'm sure most of you, many of you, know who Emmett Till was. But for those who don't, he was a 14-year-old black boy who was abducted, tortured, and lynched in Mississippi in 1955 after being accused by a white woman, this one here, Carolyn Bryant, of whistling at her and offending her in her family's grocery store. Now, in the Jim Crow South, many black people were beaten, killed, lynched just for looking towards a white woman or any number of other nonsense reasons. But Till's murder, carried out by Carolyn's husband, Roy Bryant, and J.W. Millam, was particularly brutal. They abducted Emmett, beat, lynched, and mutilated him before shooting him in the head and sinking his body in the Tallahatchie River, where it was found 3 days later. So Till's mother decided to have an open casket funeral so that people could see his bloated, mutilated body. Now, both men were eventually acquitted, and as is typical for the South, um, the very next year, because of the double jeopardy laws, where they could not be retried for the murder, they openly admitted to killing Till in an interview, even detailing exactly how they did it. All right, well, recently the warrant from 1955 for the arrest of Carolyn Bryant, the one who pointed him out, was found in a box in a Mississippi courthouse, and the family is asking that the warrant finally be executed. So my question is, it's 67 years later, most of the eyewitnesses are dead, Carolyn is 88 and in hospice care. Should she be arrested? Let's start with Gianni.
My first question is, how was it in a box in the basement? When I first saw that in general,
That's
I was
easy.
like, is that a normal thing for warrants? Like, is that a normal thing to leave
For
things like
warrants,
that?
no. For warrants in the deep south, yes.
Yeah, but Johnny, when you read the article, the warrant was publicized, but it was never served. It was never
Yes, you're
served
right.
because they didn't want to bother a young mom of two children.
Two
So
kids.
the warrant, it was an official document that was created, and then ended up somewhere and ended up in a goddamn box.
I was gonna say also, I doubt that she will be arrested. And knowing that,
You don't think
I
so?
do believe, I don't think she'll be arrested. I think
Okay.
she's too old. I think there's a lot of ways that she could get out of it. And then also knowing that, I believe that the point that the family is, they're just trying to serve justice. Because if you notice in the article, they said even if she shows up to defend herself, like they just want, I think closure is like a layman's term. Like it's not the best word to use, but in a sense, they want closure for this. And they want justice, of course. So I kind of agree with them. I don't, if it was last year, if it was last week, last lifetime, I don't care. Karma's gonna make it happen. So I believe it matters to people too.
What do you think, Ellen?
Yeah, I think that this is bigger than it's more than Emmett Till. I think that if she is let off like she has been, it will continue to be, kicking sand in the face of Black Americans. It I think the warrant being not issued because she had two young kids makes it even worse, because the kids' lives were then valued over Emmett Till's life.
Right. Good point.
But it doesn't matter if she's 88. First of all, she lived a whole free life. It's not like she was berated for, she's lived her life. She was able to live her life with her kids. Yeah, I don't care how old she is or how long it's been. I think she has to pay.
Rob?
Mhm. Yeah, well, that's it. Like, she got off because they didn't want to bother her. She had two young kids. And now, is she too old to prosecute? Nah. I mean, if she played a part in Emmett Till's slaying, she needs to be held to account. I don't care how old she is. Joe and I had a similar conversation last week about a Nazi war criminal who was being put to death. I think he was like 102 years old. And she's
That's
like,
right.
what's the point? I said, well, these types of prosecutions need to happen so that the world sees and recognizes that this type of behavior, ideology, is not acceptable. It has no
Yeah.
place in our society. The world prosecutes war criminals whenever they're located. And I'm not saying this is a war crime, but I mean, what she did was horrendous. She fingered that kid, which means that she is, at the very least, an accessory to murder. She had a very good idea of what was going to happen to that. Maybe she didn't understand that kid was going to
Absolutely.
die, but she knew that he was going to get the shit kicked out of him at the
Something was going to
very
happen to him.
least.
Mhm.
At the very least. So that's
So,
she's definitely an accessory. I mean, fuck her sensitivities. A kid whistled at you and
Yeah.
you were offended because you didn't like the color of his skin. I don't give a shit, man.
yeah.
That's not right.
Jacqueline Robinson says that woman should not be allowed to have another night's rest. The sheriff reportedly didn't want to bother her because she had two kids. Digest that for a moment. And Nazis who are in their 90s are still being brought to justice. Tracy Gower says, I'm currently reading This is The Fire by Don Lemon. Very eye opening read. So many things I, in my white privilege, had not considered. Yes, she should be tried just for the point that it would make. Now,
Yeah.
I want to
Yep.
point out some things. The actual story of what happened in the grocery store is still widely disputed. From his mother saying that she taught him to whistle to help with his stuttering, to Till joking about having a white girlfriend at school, to, of course, a direct physical assault of Carolyn Bryant, which obviously would have been highly unlikely given the racial climate in those days, but of course, easy sell to an all white jury. Um,
Mhm.
Yeah.
so but during the murder trial, Carolyn testified that Till grabbed her hand while she was stocking candy and said, "How about a date, baby?" After that, she said she freed herself from his grasp and that he followed her to the cash register, grabbed her waist, and said, "What's the matter, baby? Can't you take it?" She said she freed herself, and Till said, quote, "You needn't be afraid of me, baby. I've been with white women before." How many 14-year-old boys are saying needn't, by the way?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's a sign of the times, perhaps, Neo.
Also, just a
I
few
don't
years
know, man.
ago,
We don't talk about kids' tomfooleries and skylarkings anymore.
needn't.
No, yeah.
All right, just a few years ago, 2017, author Timothy Tyson released details of a 2008 interview with Carolyn Bryant, claiming that Carolyn recanted her statement that she was touched and grabbed by Till, saying that that part isn't true. She also said that
Wow.
she could not remember anything else from that day. Tyson also indicated that
Nice.
her husband, Roy Bryant, was abusive, and Tyson believed that the testimony was coerced. She also said in the interview, nothing that boy did could ever justify what happened to him. So does that make a difference to you guys that she recanted, was remorseful some 50 years later, and then she may have been coerced by an abusive husband?
No, that's not how the justice system works. Well, except for white people, but no, that doesn't matter. Like, that doesn't matter. No.
Wait, are you doing money? You doing what?
No, it's just.
No,
I'm
snap.
applauding
Oh, you
her
snapped. Yeah, I was
heel.
snapping.
I'm
Okay, okay.
applauding her
I couldn't
heel.
tell what the.
Yes.
It looked like
This
he
is a
was like,
poetry slam.
yeah,
Go
yeah,
with
I
the
got
times, Neo.
you. I got you.
Mhm.
But it was look like this. All right, anyway. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I say it doesn't matter. Arrest her. Let her tell her story in court. If she lied and was coerced, testify to that. The young boy's
Yep.
life, Emmett Till, was valuable. He did not deserve for his last moments to be that brutal. And whether it's 2 days, 67 years, she absolutely knew her lies would lead to something.
Yeah.
And on top of that, she lied on the stand to allow those two evil ass men to live full, happy lives after savagely killing them.
Yep.
I don't care if her last words she hears is before she dies and goes to hell is guilty. I don't have a problem
Yeah.
with that. You know, on top of that, and it was similar to what Tracy was saying. It would just make a statement.
Mhm.
Yes.
You know, white women's alligator tears have put black men in terrible positions throughout the history of this country, and we call them Karens now, but 67 years later, shit's still happening. So
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm like, put her in jail. You know,
Yeah.
put her in jail.
It'll
They
be
need to-
interesting to see the way the right responds to this, because I'm sure they're going to lose their minds. If she's brought to trial, or even the fact that the left wants this at all, or Emmett Till's family. think
I
they'll
hope
lose
it
their
is
minds.
just for the point that just for the point that it would make. Yeah, I don't care if this old
Yeah.
lady just. I don't care if it's too much for her heart. I don't really care. I mean, you just.
Fuck that
I mean, just
geezer.
when you look at the picture of Emmett Till, I'm gonna bring it back up. When you look at this and what he had to go through.
Yep.
I mean, a 14-year-old boy. I mean, it's horrible. Absolutely
Yep.
horrible.
Yeah.
All right. So is this truth, lies, or shenanigans? Let me just.
I don't know what it is at this point. It needs to be justice.
She was a liar.
Well, I'm saying, oh, well,
For me,
she's
She's a
a
liar.
liar.
Well,
The story is truth.
But
She's a liar,
This,
but the truth
the
is
story
coming
is
out.
truth.
the truth
But
always
also-
comes out.
Racist
Leon.
bullshit. You got racist bullshit,
Truth
Ellen?
always comes out.
Always.
That little scrap of paper just found its way home. That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah. That's amazing.
Perfect.
All right, so let's switch gears a little bit. We'll bring a little light to this. So, Gianni Storm, you've got a new segment. Every now and then, there's just this crazy story that makes you go, "What the?" So Gianni scours the internet to bring you these crazy, wild, or weird stories in her segment, TLS WTF of the week. So Gianni, what's up?
I like the song.
Okay, guys. WTF. People believe that CERN scientists may have opened a portal to different dimensions or a gate to hell. Some have even said they're opening a black hole. On July 5th, scientists of that research facility recorded high energy collisions using their large particle accelerator, aka a 17-mile long electromagnetic tunnel. This, of course, isn't the first time that people began theorizing what would happen if scientists dig deeper into the questions of who and what the universe is. So, my question to you guys, will CERN's latest project make bold new discoveries, or will it make us meet our ultimate demise? Dun, dun, dun.
So we-
Effect.
I'm gonna start with Ellen and then Rob. Let's do
Okay. Black holes. Let's talk about what they are. It's when a large mass collapses into a very small amount of space, and that collection of gravity collapses in on itself. That's what happens when stars die. The Earth would turn into a black hole if it were somehow squeezed down to the size of a quarter. But that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. I'm sure we'll find cool shit that happens, but the Earth is not going to collapse in on itself. I am sure of that. That's all I have to say.
it. Rob.
All right. So first off, the Large Hadron Collider is one of our species' greatest engineering accomplishments to date.
Totally.
And like you were saying, like it's a 17-mile magnetic tunnel. It's buried 175 meters in the Earth. It accelerates high-energy particle beams to almost the speed of light, and then they collide them at one of the 4 crossing points. So, the purpose of this is to answer questions in the field of physics that have plagued us since we've really started diving into these equations. We're talking subatomic particles, theories of space and time, Einstein's theory of relativity. And what burns me, I love how people who don't understand science then relegate it to magic and the dark arts. Is this the dark ages? Scientists are trying to open portals to hell. No. No. And when I was looking up stuff for this, I came across a tweet that I have to share with you because it just made me laugh, because you dropped July 5th, Joy. So Do not drink on July 4th through the 7th. Frequency will be high. Just chill and pop some fire. This is not a joke. Pay attention. CERN trying to tap in with the God particle. The Hadron Collider opens up portals from different dimensions, black holes too. They plan on doing it that day because we will drink alcohol. It's a spirit. So while they do that, our frequency will be high. We are made up of atoms. Our body responds to that
Stop.
frequency. So if you drink, it will be
Stop.
easier for demons and spirits to enter you.
No, first of all,
Alright.
that's way more than 140 characters.
That's
That
a long tweet.
That was long.
All right, look,
Fucking hell.
so okay. So the reality is, and this is science, I mean, they are trying to not necessarily open up other dimensions, but they are trying to do some cutting edge things with, dark matter, etc. I mean, not that we know what that is, but in an essence, they're trying to understand, space time and all of these theories. And so to some degree, they actually are trying to open up portals to other possible dimensions. But the reality is that there's no way we can produce enough energy with this hadron collider to actually do it. So it's not
No
actually
way.
you're looking at small particles, and it's under controlled environments. It's not there's just not enough energy being produced in these small little particles to do what people are claiming. But I mean,
Neil,
no, it's on a
believing big government and the
But-
scientists.
but if you think
Yeah.
about it, it is happening just on such a microscopic scale that won't affect us. You understand what I'm saying? So the things that they're
Yeah.
saying, like opening portals, could be happening, just not big enough for us to go through.
We might be able to summon the Prince of Shadow as opposed to
Ro-
Prince of Darkness.
Yes, exactly. So I mean, I'm just saying they are trying to do some of these things. They're testing these theories, these alternate theories of physics, but obviously it can't possibly.
That doesn't necessarily mean that. Like, I see what you're saying.
Because they are trying to open up black holes, but I mean they're on the atomic level.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
this
They're
isn't
not. This
Half-Life,
isn't.
guys. This isn't Half-Life. This is
Right.
the Collider in Geneva.
Yeah. No.
But anyway,
I feel okay. Here's my
Right.
stake in the
Yeah.
fight.
What's up?
good, yeah.
Because here's the thing.
Oh, we took longer than this
Science-
night one.
Okay, well I'll make it
Good.
quick.
No, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Science. I feel like there's like science and psychology, and then there's like religion or spirituality. So I feel like
Yeah.
science and psychology kind of go hand in hand to try to answer the questions that I feel like spirituality answer. And I feel like what scientists are doing here, like I don't think it's like, oh, they're opening the gates to hell and da da da. I think the reason and why I kind of understand their logic is because when scientists are trying to open up this portal and they're messing with the atoms and they're doing whatever they're doing, I think that in a way they are opening up a portal, but it just may not be the type of portal that people are making it to be. I think people like the drama of it kind of looking like hell and Stranger Things
Yeah.
plot twist.
Yeah.
I think people like that drama because it's interesting, but I think on a smaller
fun.
scale, I agree that it's fun. It is a portal. Let's be honest. They're doing crazy stuff. If they're trying to answer the question, what is the universe? You don't think a portal is being opened?
I mean,
that's something that
If you read if you read their articles, that's exactly what they're trying to do. It's just that it's I mean, it's not the same. It's not the same way we understand black holes and portals and dimensions.
Think of Ant-Man
exactly.
going
Right.
into subspace, subparticles,
Yeah.
getting smaller, where our understanding of physics and the world around us, where the laws of nature no longer apply because you're now in the subatomic realm. That's
Yeah.
mind-bending. That's what's mind-bending.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's probably black holes, but it's not going to be like anything to affect
A
us. All right.
binary.
If they're gonna create a black hole in our solar system, I want it to be on Earth because it's just going to be quick and painless for us. We're not going to have any understanding of what's going to happen. We're just going to get shrunken down into the singularity.
Apparently, the beginning of getting sucked into a black hole would feel good. It would like stretch your body for a second. Neil
the
deGrasse
spaghetti theory.
Tyson spaghettification. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what it's called. When your particles
Yeah.
are ripped apart from each other after they go into the event horizon. But anyway,
Terrible.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'd love to try it. Nah.
yeah, samesies.
All right.
I'd love to try it.
By the way, Stranger Things. I saw the season finale. Got to see the great season.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Great season. Great season.
Relax.
All right, let's get to our game show. All right, we're gonna have some fun today. All right, today's game is everyone's favorite 7-second challenge. Really simple. We'll go around the horn. Each of you will be given a random challenge. You will have 7 seconds to successfully complete the challenge, judged by me. If you complete it correctly, you get a point, but if you refuse or fail to do it correctly in the 7 seconds, you get nothing. Person with the most points wins and gets the final thought for today's show. All right, we're going to start with Ellen. We haven't seen you in a while, so we're going to start with you, Ellen. We'll give you touch your nose with your tongue. Oh my God. Hold on. I got to give you 7 seconds, but she did it.
People can do it.
She's
I've
doing
seen
it.
happen.
They're doing it.
I'm doing it.
Wow.
I did it.
I've tried several
You
times.
guys can't do that?
I
It
can't.
gives
do
me a headache.
I can't.
To try.
I can't. There's no way.
You guys.
I have a. But yes.
And I have
All right.
nose.
Good job.
Hey, thanks for scoring me a point, buddy.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
well,
it's out of order. All right. All right.
Yes.
So, all right, Rob. What is 10 times 10 plus 10 divided by 10? Starting 7 seconds.
11.
What? I don't
It's
think I could do it in
110
7
divided by
minutes.
10. It's 11.
That is incorrect.
What?
Why?
Wrong
10 times
answer.
10
10 times 10 plus
Is a
10
plus 10 is 100.
divided by 10.
Divided by 10 is 11.
but you got to follow your rules.
Yes.
10 times
10
10.
times.
So
10
division
times 10 is
division happens
Oh.
first. Plus 10
Ah.
divided by 10 is 1.
That's a 101. 101.
Hem dog.
Incorrect. Incorrect. Wrong answer.
God damn.
You're gonna get me fired from my job. My company's gonna find out that I don't know how to do math, and they're gonna fire me.
All right, Gianni Storm. Acting. Pretend you're a kid and your parents said you're going to Disney World and then said they were just kidding. Ready?
Okay.
7 seconds. Go.
Perfect
Theme.
answer.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. If you're on the podcast, you're going to have to go to YouTube and see the scene. I'm going to give that to you.
Violence.
All right. Correct answer.
Oh, you got a point for Ellen.
You got a point for Ellen.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why it's saying that. All right. You ready? Yeah. All right, we're going to restart. It's stuck sometimes, stupid game. All right. So, Ellen, you're up. Name 5 characters from Star Wars. You got 7 seconds.
Oh shit! I don't know Star Wars.
Go.
Han Solo,
Yeah, that's-
Obi-Wan Kenobi, R2D2, C3PO, Princess Leia.
Nice.
Done. Done.
Nice. All right.
Cool.
All right, Rob B, you're up next. Do an impression of anyone on the panel.
Oh.
You got 7 seconds starting now.
All right. Well, if we're going to move on to the next segment, oh, hold on. This my buttons are all screwed up.
I wonder who that one is. That is good. That is a good one. We're gonna give you a point for
Oh my
that.
God.
All right, Ellen's got 2. Rob's got 1. 1 for Gianni. All right, Gianni, summarize your life in exactly 5 words. Exactly 5 words. You have 7 seconds starting now. Go.
Emotional, dramatic, boring, calm.
Time's up. Sorry.
Wrong answer.
All right. All right, Ellen, you're in the lead. 2-1 for everybody else. All right, name any 5 celebrities. You're getting easy ones. Ready? 7
That's
seconds.
okay.
All right. Winona Ryder, Samuel L. Jackson, Rob Lowe, Gene Simmons, and fucking.
Oh, you ran
Barack
out of
Obama.
time. You ran out of time.
I don't know what these words.
Wrong answer.
All right.
Oh,
Rob B, acting. Pretend you're happily swimming and then suddenly see Jaws coming at you. You got 7
fun.
seconds. Go. Swimming. Swimming.
Go, Rob, go.
We're going to give you that
Rob's
point.
dead.
Good job. All right.
I couldn't
You
get
can't
shit in
get
my pants.
All right,
yeah.
Gianni. Sing the Little Piggy rhyme. You ready? Little Piggy rhyme. You ready? 7 seconds. Go.
Is it this little piggy went to the crow?
To
This
what?
little piggy went to the shop. This little pig. Is it that?
This little piggy went to the club.
Wrong answer.
This little piggy went to the show.
Oh my god.
You were close. It was this little piggy, but yeah, no, that was not.
I don't know if that's a song.
It's a remix.
It's a.
Yeah, it's a remix. It's a mixtape.
It's the bacon Redux.
All right, this is the last round.
Yes.
So Ellen's got 2, Rob's got 2, Yanni, you got 1, so you're out. All right. So Ellen and Rob, this is for the win. All right, Rob, it's Ellen. Touch your nose with your lips.
Easy.
7 seconds.
Everybody does that, even without thinking.
Got it.
Yeah, it looks like you got it. All right.
I
All
feel
right.
like that wasn't very
Got it.
fair, but all right.
you're getting some real easy ones today. I don't know what that's about.
I know. I'm getting all the layups.
All right. Last one for Rob B. Name 4 world leaders not in your country. 7 seconds now.
I don't even know.
Okay, Joe Biden, Bolsonaro, Angela Merkel, and oh god, why am I
That
drawing
is
blank?
incorrect.
Answer.
You could have just. All right. So that means you win the game. Ellen Dahl. By the way, I just want to point out Tracy Gower got 101. You got it correct.
Gore. Tracy Gore.
Oh,
Gour. Tracy Gour. Got it.
Yeah, she schooled me. She mathed me.
All right. All right. Good job, guys. Let's get some shout outs in. Tracy Gour. I'm going to get it right next time. All right, Janice, shout outs.
Shout out to Canada. Let's try. I always say that US tries to be like Canada, or they're like the better example of us. But let's do better with our environment, United States. Let's do more urban farming and compost and all of that cool stuff. Let's do it.
You know,
We got it.
I just want to say we were in Ocean City, like I said, right? And all our family was putting like this recycling in separate bags, right? They were just putting all recycling in separate bags, and it kind of filled up. And then we go outside to throw our recycling away, and there's no recycling in Ocean City. They were mad. Anyway, go ahead, Robbie. Shout out.
My shout out goes out to Sylvain and Dan, my brothers from Other Mothers, 2 of my closest friends that I got to spend some time with this weekend that I haven't seen in what seems like forever. So it was just really good to have good times with good people.
All right, Ellen Dahl.
Yeah, shout out to all the queer people who are celebrating Pride Month 12 months a year, because all the buildings around me in this, I could see a bunch of skyscrapers in Chicago. They all had rainbow lights. The Willis Tower had all these rainbow lights, and now it's all back to whatever the fuck. Shout out to all the people who are queer 12 months of the year. July can be your month too, because it's hot gay people summer. So shout out to them.
All right, love it. All right, and my shout out goes to my wonderful wife. Wow, that's a tongue twist. The love of my life. Happy birthday to you. Hope you had a great time. All right, and that is officially all the time we have for today's show. I'd like to thank all of you guys for joining us. We hope that you maybe learned something, gained a new perspective, and got some things off your chest. We will be back live next Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern. But don't run away just yet. We've got about 15 minutes for some after show conversation. That'll be streaming live exclusively on the YouTube page, which you can find quickly at TLSshow.com. And it looks like our winner for the final thought of the show is Ellen Dahl. Ellen, close us out.
Yes. It is, even though the 4th of July has passed, it is still fireworks month. So shout out to all the dog owners who are currently taking care of their dogs who are hiding in the bathtub, because it sounds like the Civil War every night of the year, so or every night of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Oh wow. Well, shout out to everyone except for Neo, I guess.
No, one of my dogs is like really scared of all that stuff. He's under the.
Oh.
I mean, one of the other dogs, he doesn't really care.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Gianni, Robbie Rock, Ellen. And special thank you to our guest today, Javon Anderson. But most importantly, we've got to thank you for watching and listening to our shenanigans each and every week. And we will see you next time. Have a good one.